this light bar. It replaces this piece, and all this piece does is just, it's kind of like a cover. This adds a little bit of a light to it, and we place the button in here. We do have to run a wire on the inside, but I'll show you how easy that is to do. Take the front out and these seats out. If you haven't seen these seats before, this is from my friend who does all of my designs. This is a seat for your frunk. You can actually flip and fold these over to one side if you need the space for something, but these are really cool for tailgating. This is made just like a car and upholstery, nice angle and everything. Those things are really cool. But I'm gonna remove that and the whole frunk, get the wiring all set up. This is gonna be a fast video. To get this piece out, there's little clips on the top. You just kind of push down on them with your thumb and pull out. And that's pretty much it. And then there's a connection. This is for the button to actually pop the frunk open. And then we want to pop this off as well. I want to pry it open on either side here, and this whole button should come off. A plastic tool. Alright, there's the button. It doesn't work anymore. Just kidding, it's not attached. So this is removed. Let's put the new one in. So we got the new piece. We got to put this button back in. And all it does is just clip right in. There we go. And this is going to plug right back into that. That way the button will still work. I don't want to hit it because, you know, we're still putting this together. And then there's an opening right down in here. Can't miss it. Just feed the wires through and then push this in place. And those wires actually popped out right in there. They're hard to see, but it's right behind this mechanism that actually latches the frunk in place. So what we have to do is get the rest of the wires, and I'll show you what those consist of. For the rest of the wiring, don't be alarmed. It looks like a lot. Hold on, work's calling. YOUR Custom, this is Sunstoppers Mooresville. How can I help you? So this looks a little complicated with all these wires here. These go inside the vehicle. This is going to plug into the autopilot computer. This is going to plug into another white cable down there, and then this little line, sounds like a nursery rhyme I'm making up here, but that connects to these, which feeds up through into where the headlight is, because we're going to plug this kind of into where the headlight is, so we get a signal when to turn this on when these headlights are on. So that was an oversimplification of all this, but it is not very difficult to do. The hardest part is actually by the fender, popping this in. The rest of the time is just feeding these in. All right, so don't do what I did. Make sure that you can see this. I had to pull this back out because these wires are just too short once you fit them back there. So I just pulled this back out, and now I'm attaching the lines that I need in here. What I have here is the really long cable that's going to fit all the way back there, and then the little one attaches here. This is going to feed through and into the light right here, and I'll get you a better angle. How about that? How's that angle? Might be too close, but now I can feed these through. I swear I'm not incompetent. What the hell's going on here? I'm making this look harder than it is. All right, so now we got the wires through, and it was easy. Just clip this back into place like you did originally, and then now the long wire is actually going to go all the way to the front of inside the vehicle. So we want to keep this separate. And then we take this one and we disconnect the headlight. We're going to plug in the new one, and this is just a jumper. So now this will get a signal when to turn on. And we can tuck this wire down out of the way. Nice Nice and neat. And then this wire here, this is what's going to go up actually right behind you because you're on the fender, and it's going to go right up all the way in there and then go inside the vehicle along with these. So let's go do that. So let's start with these inside this area, which means we have to take this panel off, which means the easiest way is to grab this, pull this loose. This little piece on the end here comes off, and then you're able to get that out. And just pull. Now mine came off easier because I've had this off a few times. Imagine that. Move the seat out of the way. We're going to get to the computer that's right back in here. There are normally clips there. I've left mine off. And this one is going to go into the far left one of the autopilot computer. And this one with this little piece here is going to go to this one just inside the door. Right above here is a hole with a grommet that we can feed the other wire from up top into here, which will plug into this, which will give more controls for that light, which I don't even know what they are yet. It's got to be more than just this thing knowing when to turn on and off the light, because that's getting the signal from the other one. I'm sure they figured everything out. So let's just unhook everything and plug everything in. Now mine's a little different because I have a screen up front, so I can actually disconnect this and plug into that one, using it as another jumper. But either way, it's not too difficult down in here to get this out. It's not like the Model 3 and the Model Y. Those are hard sometimes. This we're going to peel and stick and put this out of the way. But this one, we're going to disconnect, connect, and yes, that's my phone going off because work is busy. Again, if you need any work, hit us up. We do Teslas, we do anything. We can work on your car, no matter what it is. Wrap it, PPF it, window tint, everything. So put that there. This is going to go back. This panel goes back once we get this fed through there, and I'll show you that part. This is probably going to be the trickiest thing for most people. Right here is a grommet. So if you pull this off and you put a hole right through it, you can run a cable through it and then have no issues with water inside the vehicle. This pops down and will feed right into here. So all you have to do is pull this gasket back and run that cable all the way down the fender, which they actually give you a stick for that. This piece right here, this extends out. You can tie it back here and then pull it all the way through, and then you just have to feed it down through here. That's probably the trickiest part. Other than that, it's not too difficult. Then you just turn everything. I have the car in service mode, so it's not going to do anything crazy, but basically you're just taking this and running it up there. If you see, I do have a lot of more wires in here. I already have a step down unit right here, be getting power from the front power here. This is going up to a controller for my fog lights and my running my off-road light up there. Really, it's just for the LEDs. That's all I have set up right now, but they just kind of flash when I want to. This is just going to be another light up front here. I think it's going to be kind of cool. Again, it's from Test Studios. It's just going to add a little bit more light to the front and maybe change it up a little bit. We're going to turn off the lights and see what it looks like when this is all done. But right now, I'm going to feed this through. I do have a different wire fish. This plastic thing. I'm going to try to feed in and figure out where it comes in here. You can use anything for that. And I try to tape it really good because you don't want it to stop halfway through and maybe get stuck. So if you pull too hard, you can damage stuff. So kind of guide it in. So again, you don't want to force it. So I'm kind of on both ends here. And twisting. There we go. Once I twisted it and got it around there, that went in. So this is the grommet. So I've already put a slot in this, but that would have been hard to get that big thing around. So I'm going to slice down there and fit it around, but make sure that the slice, the opening, is all the way at the bottom. That way water will drain a little bit better. All right, now that I sliced that, I got a little black Pac-Man. I'm going to just fit it around. Make sure that's down. And then that is good. Once the door's closed, not much water gets in there anyway. So now we just plug these two in once I get this off and put everything back together. And let's see what this light looks like. You've already seen a sneak peek of it beforehand, but now let's look at what it looks like with the lights off and everything, and you know, kind of fun. Because that's the whole point of customizing your car. Maybe not doing this crazy color, but customizing it to make it your own, make it unique. You're already buying a unique vehicle, make it yours.
It's mine.
That's the fun part.
It's all
At least I think anyway. For the final shot, everything is attached. You can see the line kind of looks like a little mouth a little bit. So let's turn it on. So now it just connects the headlights together. And now you got the bar on the top and the bottom. Now my bar on top is wrapped in the same chrome, so it looks a little funky. It doesn't really show up on camera, but it kind of has the same look of the wrap. So this bar down below is going to change the front end a little bit. Actually, I think it makes it more pronounced with the lights on. Because when you just have these two little ones, it looks kind of funky because this truck is so big, and then you just have the little lights. Now you have two giant bars. You can't miss this thing. And there's nothing you have to do in here. This is just to turn the lights on, the power lights on, or the overhead lights. You don't have to do anything. All I had to do to show you guys was go to lights and turn them on. Now they're on auto. They actually turn on the screen here too, and on that screen. And when they're off, you can't tell anything's there. A bunch of dead bugs on the front, but it looks really good. You can still get to the button to open up the frunk, and unless I pointed it out to you, you probably wouldn't know it's there. So if you're interested in these lights or anything from Test Studios, use the link down below, and my code I1Tesla saves you tons of money off of everything site-wide. Make your truck look different than anybody else's. Make your Y, anything. They have stuff for everything on there. So, you know, make it customized for you. As always, stay awesome, stay positive. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.